Hey guys, welcome back. It is Spider-Man week, and we all know No Way Home is coming out tomorrow for the UK, and I think it's coming to the US in around the 17th, I believe.
17th? Yeah.
Yeah, so we have Levi back as well,
Hi, everyone.
Spidey himself. So
Yeah.
welcome to another podcast, episode 12, and this is a special Spider-Man No Way Home edition. We're going to basically talk about our predictions, just basically our hopes. We're going to be watching it tomorrow, so we're looking forward, but nervous in the same time. Like, we're really nervous, and really hope like this movie is going to be like amazing, you know? So, yeah, just sit back and relax and let's get towards the podcast. But yeah, anyway, Levi, so what's the first thing we have on our list? There's a lot of stuff in the movie we're expecting, and the big, huge rumors of, we don't need to say its name because everybody knows.
Yeah.
By this point that if it's Toby Maguire or Andrew Garfield returning to the movie. We had a few podcasts before and we always keep talking about they're gonna be in it.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. Like, at the end of the day, we could say he's gonna be in it and then it could be a huge surprise or not, and you know, we don't wanna like, but there's so much but there's so much evidence to it, and it's crazy to not have the existing Raimi or the Garfield villains and not have the two Spider-Man who they fought like over the years, and it's a celebration of all the Spider-Man movies. And I know some people might be rewatching all the Tobey Maguire movies, the Sam Raimi ones, and Andrew Garfield, so they're gonna have like a big rewatch. I've never had a chance yet to rewatch all the movies. It's just been crazy this last couple of weeks, but I am ready to watch this movie tomorrow, and I can't wait. Please comment below what you hope to see this movie, and what you know, share with us what your thoughts, and basically, yeah. Okay, but yeah, I think our biggest predictions is who is the sixth member of the Sinister Six, because I'm interested of like they released 5. Is there going to be a sixth member, or is it just going to be 5 villains? And me and Levi were coming out some like rosters or theories of who could be the villain. Like, you know, there's so much. Well, I say so much, but there are a few villains that like, could this guy come back? Or, you know, if we got a few ideas.
Yeah, we have actually. Yeah.
Okay, so hey, Davine, child.
Oh, hi.
Okay, so yeah, so rosters now. Now we got the Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Sandman.
Yep.
That's 3 of the Raimi villains. We got the Lizard. I was surprised Lizard was even announced.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I thought Rhino was going to be the villain, but no, I was surprised Lizard. And I believe it's the same actor who plays him in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Reese Ivan. I can't. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name. Sorry. And we got the biggest surprise, Jamie Foxx Electro. But we all knew that I feel like a year ago or something, because he posted that.
Yeah, he accidentally posted it.
I think that's where all the Raimi, the fan theory starts speculating. There's that picture, and everyone's like, "Oh, then Doc Ock got announced by the Hollywood Times and articles, and then there's more proof." But we'll get towards Toby and Andrew like maybe end of this podcast, because we all knew that's our biggest predictions, them to being in it and how they're gonna be in it. But yeah, so so I think that's pretty much 5 villains. But what I noticed, Levi, I don't know if you noticed as well, where is Holland's villain? Like, you know, we have the other Spider-Man villains, but there isn't any of like Tom Holland's villains in that roster. So my theory is, now obviously this is going to be a bit of spoilers to Far From Home, and I think people should be watched like right now already, even watching the trailer. So now everyone knows like Mysterio died at the end, and you know, and he framed Spider-Man, and that's how you got like everyone started to find out Peter Parker and Spider-Man is the biggest thing. I feel like Mysterio could be the sixth member because I feel like knowing Mysterio, and especially in the comics and like whatever source material he had, he's a very big trickster. And I feel like this was a plan. He purposely did this to kind of like frame, like, I don't believe he died. Like, he knew.
No, I
feel like it's an illusion or a trick he did like purposely, and that looks like a pre-recorded message there. Like that looks like he just literally after he died, and he did that when after Peter turned off the drones. Like that looks like that scene after when he says, Spider-Man's real identity is Peter Parker. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if Mysterio could be the sixth member, which I think that'll be really cool to see all the villains together, because I really like Mysterio.
Yeah, I like it.
And it would be cool to see Jake Gyllenhaal coming back. I think I wouldn't say it'd be like an obvious move, because obviously, we all know Mysterio's kind of trickster, but I don't think he's completely dead, if you know what I mean. Now, what's your thoughts?
I agree. Like, as an illusionist, I think he could very easily pull that off.
And, like, remember, like, what John Watts said, especially to Alfred Molina, is any villain can come back.
Yeah, exactly.
And I do like the idea that, all the villains are dead. Unless there is a different Mysterio. If they're going to do recognizable villains that they're already seen, or I think they're going to do the route that they could just choose any. Like, that's where Multiverse of Madness is going to play in, because that's where it's all going to have different versions of, like, the MCU characters, because there's been rumors of a different Iron Man who could be played by Tom Cruise, Black Widow could be played by Emily Blunt. Like, there originally was going to be cast before, like, during the MCU time. Or Captain America, like a different actor playing Captain America, it'd be John Krasinski. But I know he was going to be he was rumored to be
Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, that's it.
Richards. But yeah, I don't know if they could do that route, but I think that will be a bit too confusing. Yeah. But I think they could set that up in the end of this movie and play that thing where, okay, we got the recognizable villains from the other movies. Now here's a bit of a taste of what could come, But yeah, I think Mysterio would be a perfect, one of the perfect, like, sixth member, because that's like in the actual comics as well, exactly. Like the Sinister Six. And I know they were trying to do a Sinister Six movie back in Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man. They were teasing that the entire movie. They were setting the roster, and Mysterio's mask was in the credits. So I know, like, that was one of the members they were trying to get in. But Mysterio's one of them. The Tinkerer. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. The Tinkerer is another villain in the comics, and he was in, I think, Homecoming. He helped create Vulture's wings. Was it Vulture's wing, like, with the tech? Yeah. But speaking of Vulture.
Yeah, he's also on the roster.
Adrian Toomes, like, I think Vulture would be a very good, because we all know Michael Keaton's gonna come back.
Yeah,
he's even admitted he's been shooting some Spider-Man stuff. Now I know he's been spotted in the Mobius trailer. Morbius. I can say Mobius. Mobius is from Matrix. Mobius is Morbius. I know he was spotted in the Morbius trailer, but I don't know if that was just for that one. But we need to explain why he's in that Morbius universe. So I think having Vulture could be the sixth member would be a great addition to the roster, because that's where Peter has a bit more a bit more like connections to, because he has like a relationship with Vulture. Obviously he dated that was his ex-girlfriend's father. So yeah, what would you think?
Yeah, Vulture was probably second on my list, because He was the first villain in Tom Holland's trilogy, and he actually survived at the end.
Yeah, and another thing, like, he is like Peter's sort of, I wouldn't say a rival. I wouldn't say like he's like arch enemies. It was, I think they had a truce, a little bit of a truce in the ending.
Yeah,
of Homecoming.
yeah.
But because I remember there's also Scorpion.
Yes, that as well.
Because there's a scene where Scorpion and Toomes were in prison, and he wouldn't give the information about Peter Parker. So now he doesn't really have. Now everybody knows he doesn't have anything to, like, on him.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like, I don't know if Vulture redeemed himself or he's still bad. It's a bit. I got a bit confused because I can't tell if he's still a villain or.
I don't know. We haven't seen him since Homecoming.
And now we're gonna see him in Morbius, so.
Yeah.
But I guess we get some explanation. But in the Morbius, I don't know where that takes place, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you're gonna work out if Vulture's gonna be in it, then is Morbius gonna be set after No Way Home, or is that gonna be before? So maybe we can explain. Like, people might get confused. Like, oh wait, I thought he was in prison, but then maybe Morbius, because there is a time jump, I believe.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Because in the opening of No Way Home is straight after, like, the same scene of Far From Home, and then I believe they're gonna go like a bit of a time jump, a bit like Endgame or something.
Yeah.
Not like 5 years later or
Not
anything
that
like
long,
that,
no.
but just sort of like a time jump. And then we could sort of see, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Vulture. And what would be really cool, a shot of like Vulture and a Green Goblin flying together.
Yeah, that'd be really
like
cool.
with his wings, because they both have like flying materials, and I think obviously Vulture's one of the OG Sinister Six members.
Yeah, he is actually.
And
yeah.
with Doc Ock as well, like,
Ock, yep.
yeah, I can see a really cool shot of all the villains, like the six members, and I think that's what Sony really always wanted to create, like from the films. I know they've been pushing this idea for a long time. All right, Levi, what's your third? So we got Mysterio, we got Vulture. I think we mentioned Scorpion.
Yeah, we just mentioned him. Yeah.
Scorpion is I think I believe the original No Way Home. Well, I wouldn't say No Way Home, but I believe No Way Home was going to do a Craven movie. And
Yeah.
I think the plot's changed. I think there was going to have. It's the same thing what happened with Far From Home. Everybody found his identity, and then someone's hired Craven or Scorpion to try to kill. It was like a John Wick kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that was one of the ideas they were going to do, but they changed this to the multiverse, which I'm still happy with.
Yeah.
Either way, but I know that was the original idea for the third one, because I know everyone was saying Craven's going to be in
Craven,
it.
yeah.
Or Craven could be in it.
Yeah, he still could be.
But he's cast now, Arran Taylor.
Yeah.
AKA Quicksilver, AKA Kick-Ass, if you grew up the Kick-Ass movies.
Yeah.
But I can't believe he would be... but that'll be quite confusing. But then they've done that quite a lot with same MCU actors play different roles. But someone quite big with that role would be quite... I guess it's a multiverse, so you can kind of get away with it.
Yeah.
You know what, I actually think... And this is this is a spoiler, so if you're listening right now for Venom, Let It Be Carnage, please don't just skip this part. Skip this part of the podcast. But yeah, it's a spoiler in 3 seconds. There's a post-credit scene of when Venom was being transferred to the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
So Venom,
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can sort of tell he doesn't like Spider-Man in that last bit where he lit the screen and said, oh, this guy. This guy. But I wouldn't... The thing is, I think what the symbiote was saying, he was saying, they had, encounters. And I know if that would connect to Maguire Spider-Man. Because the symbiote... Yeah, because the symbiote, again, it's not the same... It doesn't have to be the same Eddie Brock. But the symbiote has memories from different universes, so it could sort of connect why maybe it's same like the Doc Ock situation where Doc Ock thinks that's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and that's why he's attacking him, and that could be the same thing with Venom. The symbiote hates Spider-Man because they fight each other in Spider-Man 3, so they got a beef for each other. So that could be. It could be like a thing where Venom tries to like attack Spider-Man, but then maybe they team up, a bit like like the comics or the animated series.
Yeah.
But I was really like, I know when Carnage was announced as like in the second sequel, I was really wanted a Spider-Man in that sequel because I always want to see Spider-Man versus Carnage versus Venom. I thought that would be pretty cool, but no. They had to kill Carnage off.
Yeah. Spoiler
alert. We did say. Spoiler. But yeah, so Venom. So we got Vulture, Mysterio, Venom, Scorpion. I would say like what percentage? Like I think Mysterio. I would say I'll give 80% out of 100. Vulture, I would get probably 60%. Because it's kind of like, I know he's in Morbius. I need to say Morbius. Probably, 60%, around 60%. Because I feel he's lightly, but not very lightly.
Yeah.
Venom, I would give 40. I'll give 40 for
something
Venom.
like that.
I'll give 40% out of 100. And Scorpion, I would probably say 20 because he's not really been established a lot and it's not a huge character surprise, because they're teasing it, but like it's a big mystery, but I wouldn't think he would have been in the trailers. Like he's not a big, huge Sinister Six member, but they didn't really give him much character development compared to the other characters. I don't think he would be the member. How about Shocker?
Oh yeah, Shocker from Homecoming.
Yeah, and he can get me like his iconic suit, or had like the shock waves. Unless he like sort of, maybe he doesn't have to be the member, but maybe he's still in the film. Maybe he's the one like gets Vulture out of prison.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And he can like have a bit of an appearance, but not as like the main team. So he's just sort of his like Vulture's goon. But yeah. What about Rhino?
Rhino.
But it depends which one. Well, I think it'll be the Amazing Spider-Man 2 one, but
if he is, yeah.
What do you think of that?
I don't know. The only bits we saw of him was the beginning and the end.
I think, like, similar with Jamie Foxx, a lot of people didn't like the Rhino in that film, but I wouldn't mind like if the actor did something different. And he's a very talented actor.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if they kind of gave him like a different, like a different approach, maybe similar to Jamie Foxx's, like give him more an iconic suit, less kind of techy, bit more like the comic character. I think they can do a really good job, but I don't think it's gonna be. They would have put him in the trailers again. It's not a big character reveal. Oh god, the Rhinos is the mysterious thing. I think it needs. I think like breaking it down. I think it's either Tom Holland's villain, it's Mysterio or Vulture, and that's my high list. The third one, like or Venom, because that's a big reveal. I think all these like small villains or they would have put them in the trailer because Green Goblin is like a large villain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that could have been the mysterious villain, but they wouldn't like overhyped Green Goblin so much in the trailers compared if they put Rhino was like Rhino was the mysterious villain, then they could have just like switched that around and have Green Goblin. Because everyone would be like, I wonder if Green Goblin's gonna be in it, and then we could say like, oh, he died, or we don't know which version it is, and that could be a big surprise. But I can see he is like he's probably the mastermind of this plan. But yeah, there is another rumor, another speculation I have. Hear me out. I think this is just backing up my theory of yesterday pictures because they had a red carpet. Jared Leto actually went to the premiere.
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram.
Does that mean he could be the sixth member? You never know. Again, that could take place like before No Way Home, and maybe that could explain his backstory. So that's why maybe No Way Home comes out first, and then Morbius comes after. So maybe that's just like a little origin story, or because sometimes Marvel movies not always in order.
Yeah,
I remember Black Widow. We all know what happened to Black Widow. We know she died, but they released Black Widow after Endgame, and it's still an interesting movie. I have problems with it. I'm not going to show. I don't like.
I'm gonna make a fairly quick confession. I haven't watched it yet.
Really?
You're right there, mate. Yeah,
no, I'm just choking on the spoiler alert of Black Widow because they just ruined my boy Taskmaster.
Yeah, I just haven't got around to watching it.
Oh god. Yeah, just no. It's a good movie. Like for this one part, I would like appreciate they didn't do.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that. But yeah, I don't want to go out and get into it with a Black Widow thing, but it's that thing, that twist. It was just like the Mandarin twist, Environment 3 all over again. Like they make it do a big thing, and it's like, oh, okay, that's it. Anyway, but yeah, so we have Morbius could be one of the members. But yeah, I think that's pretty much for the villains. What else do you think could happen while watching it tomorrow? We haven't watched the movie yet.
No,
we're watching it tomorrow, which is very exciting. We're gonna have to be off social media this time tomorrow.
Oh god!
So this is another thing we're gonna be like, oh. That's going to be very hard to do because we don't want spoilers. And please, if people have actually seen it, I don't know if any people have seen it from the press or... Because some people actually watched it.
Yeah.
Like yesterday. Or heard stuff online. Please do not post this in the chat.
Please don't.
We all want to be surprised. We got this close now.
Yeah.
But
we're already having to keep off Facebook, Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, this is just sort of a fun way to kind of get hyped for the movie. Okay, another prediction. Do you think Doctor Strange is Mephisto? No?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't really know much about Mephisto, at least not enough to speculate.
Mephisto is the devil character in the comics, and one of the comics he signed he made a deal with Spider-Man, and it's a very similar scenario where I can't remember what happened. I think everybody found out again if he's Spider-Man. Or he wants to erase something, and he made a deal to Mephisto that if he, he no longer had to be married to Mary Jane, or not know who he is, then that's the deal. So it is like, and that's where WandaVision came in, where everyone was like speculating, "Oh, Mephisto, it's Mephisto." I did not think Doctor Strange is Mephisto. I just like to make fun of that theory, but it is. It is an interesting theory, I could say, but a lot of people say like Doctor Strange acts very weird in a lot of scenarios where he's doesn't speak the same. I just think I don't agree because he is literally the same how he acts. Hey Jared, how's it going? But yeah, I don't think Mephisto is no way involved, but wouldn't say he could be in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I'm just laying that out there. Like, not in this movie, but maybe after. Because he is a Doctor Strange villain. But yeah. Mephisto theory debunked. No, I'm kidding. It's an interesting one. Do you think the music's going to be different? Like, would we think we'll have any iconic music from, like, I know for a fact, I didn't watch the clip, like, I think Sony released like 3-4 clips of the movie, and I try to avoid watching it, because I just wanted to, like, I've seen the trailer, I've seen the first trailer, I've seen the second trailer, I've seen a couple of TV spots, and that's it. I don't want to watch anything.
I've only watched one TV spot.
I don't want to watch anything more because I'm just gonna go in it and just like watch, just experience it. It's so hard though because it's like I really want to see what happens, but I don't want it to get everything ruined.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a little small scene, it's not a big spoiler, but it's still if I've been,
it's still part of the movie.
It's still part of the movie, and I think the biggest thing where I stopped avoiding this TV spots is where I saw the Green Goblin's mask like smashed up. That's the point where I said no more TV spots. That's it, because I think it goes all over the internet and it's like shared around, especially when you join like Marvel groups or Facebook groups,
meme pages.
It's everywhere, and that's the thing This is the thing with these movies, and I remember watching Spider-Man 3. Is I watched that movie without and I think how the internet evolves over the years, where it's just there's so much speculation, there's so much.
Yeah, I've noticed.
I think movies have sort of changed, I believe, where it comes with hype, because everyone's having a hype of 100, and this is where the people keep saying, don't go with this movie for huge expectations, like things might not turn out, and it's very hard because I agree but disagree in the same way, because I feel like we can't. You're teasing us with all these fan theories, and you acknowledge that, but you're not denying it. Whoever denies supply.
Yeah.
But you have to, you gotta like sort of put yourself in the middle and just sort of like, okay, maybe don't go to this movie for full expectation, but go around the middle.
Yeah.
Don't go too low, don't go too high. Because we all know, like, there's been so much rumors, and we're going to get to that point at the end because we don't want to go straight towards the thing. I'm avoiding all TV spoils too much. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not, especially when it's so close to the movie, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
There's more TV. I know they have to put it because it's part of the commercials, but it's, I wouldn't mind it just kept the same scene. You know what I really appreciate is Endgame's marketing. I love how Endgame did not show anything, absolutely anything about the stuff with, like, the first trailer, you could say, or the second trailer. They didn't show a lot of footage of the big battle scene with all like people coming back alive, because they kept that as like a big surprise. There's no footage of Black Panther, there's no footage of Spider-Man, there's no footage of all the people coming back from the dust, there's no footage of so much of the time travel. It's all in that era. And I love how and I feel like they're trying to do something similar, but it's gone to the point where they need to market this movie. They know that will sell tickets, but look how much. This is the thing, like, do you think this is gonna break more than Endgame?
Yeah, I can see that happening very much. Like, yesterday I saw it has a 100% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I think this is gonna sort of break records again. Like, when you know something, you have a feeling of it, that's gonna smash all the. I think it's gonna go higher than Force Awakens.
Yeah,
that's my theory. And what's your theory? Like, how if it's gonna beat? It's definitely. I feel like it's gonna beat Force Awakens. I know that's so high because that Force Awakens was. I mean, is it number 1 in the box office? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But I feel like it's gonna just take that spot.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's so like, look how the tickets.
Yeah, they sold out
websites
very quickly.
The trailer's got over like, I don't know how many views now, but it's got so much views in 24 hours.
There's
so much evidence that could like break. This could be, especially with how even in the pandemic. Remember, pandemic. No one's gonna be watching movies.
Not really. No.
And look how much tickets have been bought, and that's such a big surprise. Like, look how much Black Widow and Shang-Chi made.
Yeah, man.
Amazing how. And I think I love how the movie speaks to it. It's not just a ending for the Homecoming trilogy. It's an all-over celebration of the entire Spider-Man franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
And it brings 3 generations, I would say. Because we grew up with the first generation. There's a second generation with the Amazing Spider-Man. And there's a third generation with the Homecoming. So it's bringing all the Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
What's your theory? What else do you think they're going to put in the film?
Well, that's a good question. I haven't actually thought about it too hard because...
Do you think, right, without the other 2 Spider-Mans, and the no names we're not going to say yet.
Nope.
Do you think Miles would make an appearance of any sort of cameo or like a short scene? But not just any Miles, the Into the Spider-Verse Miles. Because I wouldn't say that's far off could happen. Because that isn't but because they're doing a sequel of
I saw that
Into the Spider-Verse, or Gwen Stacy, but Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy could also make an appearance. But I feel like maybe those 2 theories might be a bit too over, like too many characters in this. Because I think they're going to be focusing on the big 2.
Yeah, because... I have heard rumors of Miles Morales appearing in the MCU. Like, Tom Holland said that he's keen for it to happen.
And I think Sony wants to happen as well. Like, it's been teased, like, especially with... It depends what universe or what character they're going to do. Like, because they could do a brand new Miles, and that could be, like, the separate universe. But I think if they do that, then that might be a bit, like, I wouldn't say surprising because they're already doing a sequel. So unless they want to separate that. But I can see that I wouldn't be too surprised if that does happen. Okay, so our next theory is the multiverse theory. The multiverse theory. Okay, so when do you think, like, here is my idea of the opening. Now, I know that might be wrong, like, because obviously they're going to just straight away from Far From Home. But before that clip came out, I did not see it yet. So I wanted to, like I said, I want to watch it tomorrow. I had an idea, and this is my prediction, is they could have showed the scene where Doc Ock is drowning from Spider-Man 2 in the Raimi universe. So it's just literally picks up from the scene. He's driving towards to the fusion. The fusion did like a big white sort of bang, like a flash. His arms awakes from the water. It's broad daylight, right? The broad daylight. His arms quickly stack around. He's now like the ferries.
Yeah.
The docks. The docks.
Yeah.
So his arms quickly crashed in, turns on. His chips again busted. Because before he could he can control the arms because that's how he like redeemed.
Yeah.
The arms weren't controlling, but now it's been back turned on. So that's why he's a bit like he's evil again. Even though it was hard to control the arms without the AI was choosing it. And he comes towards the bridge, like, where the docks, and then he sees all the videos, all the social medias of Spider-Man as Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Maybe not seeing a picture, but just the headlines.
Yeah.
Because remember, in the trailer, I think it was the second one, where he said, "You're not Peter Parker."
Yeah, that one, yeah.
That would explain, but that was actually my theory of how it could open, but I don't think that's not gonna happen, because I feel like there's gonna be a time jump, and after once Doctor Strange does the spell, that's how it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I thought that would be a really cool opening.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's just a bit like how Mysterio was the opening for Far From Home, and Vulture was the opening for Homecoming, like they always have like a villain opening from the main character, and I think that could really connect towards the trilogy together, like as an overall, and it kind of gets into, okay, this is going to be the movie about this guy. This is not like about this guy, but this is basically showing the antagonist of this character. So, let me know what you think. Can you imagine Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk being a great team? I would, yeah. Well, didn't that happen in? Well, I don't think so much in Endgame, because they didn't really meet till Infinity War. But that's the thing, like, I felt a lot on this. I was looking forward to when Spider-Man was joining the MCU, is having all like the crossovers between Hulk and, because I know the thing is they're overdone with Iron Man. No, I was more looking forward more like interactions with like other big Marvel characters.
Yeah,
I want to see a bit more of I actually did want to see more Spider-Man with Hulk. I think I was looking forward to that, but then the only reference we got was in Infinity War where Bruce Banner said, "So there's an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man." Like that was the only thing I got really happy. I was like, "Oh, he acknowledged Spider-Man," because it's such a cool.
Yeah,
it looks pretty on film. Like it's just like in the comics. But yeah. But yeah, that was my interesting opening for the how I would open No Way Home. Is that like Doc Ock seeing like, okay, he's in this universe, and you can get that similar thing with Venom, with like the whole like visuals, like with the Into the Spider-Verse like glitches, graphics, and they like split around. But yeah, I actually thought we could sort of see some more scenes in the other universe, but I think they're just gonna focus on that. Like,
yeah,
I mean, because they're panicking, the villains are coming through. But yeah, here's another thing I've noticed. What does Doctor Strange mean? They're all coming, because again, they're all coming. The villain's already there.
Yeah. So
that got to mean something. It doesn't mean.
Yeah.
I the first time I watched that trailer, I think about, is that being Maguire or Garfield? But it doesn't make sense. All coming. That sounds like a huge army or something. So here's where I theorize with Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange 2, which is directed by Sam Raimi. With all people to direct it, is the original Spider-Man trilogy director. I would believe that's where it goes wrong, and that's where the madness comes from. It's from that scene.
Yeah.
And I feel like when they said they're all coming, they could mean all the villains, not just the Spider-Man villains. So it could mean with X-Men, it could mean with Daredevil. Well, we're gonna talk about Daredevil
we'll come to it in a minute.
Yeah. That could mean all like the previous villains from each previous Marvel movies. Blade, you got Ghost Rider, you got Punisher, you got all like there's so much Marvel.
So much you can
you know, Magneto, Doctor Doom, it could be a different version. I think having that could be like, you know, with Multiverse of Madness, that's gonna be really confusing but insane. And probably it's gonna be very scary. Do you wanna go with the Daredevil thing? You start up, man.
Oh yeah, basically, apparently this is official. Charlie Cox, Daredevil, he's actually part of the MCU now.
So we're predicting is, and so do you think he's gonna be in this movie? Like this is
I've seen lots of speculation that he actually is, like based on the first trailer alone.
I think because I think the first trailer, I thought that was Charlie Cox with the guy who like slams the paper on, like said, "Look, I didn't kill Mysterio, the drones did it."
You mean your drones?
Like I was confused. Like, why is Charlie Cox. I thought it's his lawyer. Why did he like?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought maybe he's arguing against him. And until the IMAX trailer, like even because Charlie Cox even said that's not him. Like he denied it. Like I said, denial supplied it.
Yeah.
He denied it by saying no, that was it, which is true. Like he said he's not in that. He's not. That's not him. But he doesn't. It's not really saying he's not in the movie. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
If I'm getting that wrong, anyone can correct me. But I feel like, I think he basically didn't really. Since the IMAX trailer ruined that, seems like, oh, that's not Charlie Cox. And everyone would say, like, they were making parody stuff and trailers. It's Charlie Cox, Daredevil. It's just a guy with a shirt. And I feel bad for the person who played that character. For, you ruined it. But let's not, don't forget, he could be in a different scene. Remember, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's going to court. Like, Spider-Man needs a lawyer. And one best thing part of the comics, and even we could say the series as well, is there's a famous, very famous comic book where I think Spider-Man pretends to be Daredevil at one point to because but yeah, like Daredevil's got Spider-Man's back, man. Like I wanted to be, and that would be the best, like just like Civil War. Where Spider-Man was introduced to the MCU. That's such a big introduction because Civil War, I was very hyped for, like, oh my god, this Spider-Man's going to be finally appearing in the MCU. But even like a little small scene like that could work, and that could be, what best way of showing Daredevil into the MCU is Spider-Man himself, because he's the character that everybody, knows from the childhood, or everybody knows Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man is probably the number one Marvel character, and I always put a number one even before the Avengers. And that's why those movies alone that's why Sony was so protective. Well, I'll say protective, but they didn't need Marvel because Spider-Man just sells, and obviously times has changed where, a lot of people are used to seeing hero crossovers, and I think that's where it differs. Where Spider-Man, maybe it would not be. I think that's where Sony started realizing, it would be cool to actually see that trend of Spider-Man teaming up, and that's why they're trying to set their own kind of Avengers. But man, that's the thing. Like, where did this all started? Where this multiverse thing? Because I don't think this was the original plan.
No, I don't think it was.
Let me know what you guys think. Like, if you think, if you think this was like the original Sony's plan, like, I knew, like I said, I knew there was Spider-Man. The third Spider-Man movie in the MCU is going to be about Kraven, but then they announced a Kraven movie instead. So I think that's why they changed that. But I think from the interviews, I think Tom Holland and all the cast was saying it was sort of planned around Far From Home. So I wouldn't believe it. I think it was planned after Infinity War.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I remember there was an interview with, I wouldn't say the whole storyline plan, but I think the idea of having different versions, like the original versions of each character that are coming back, that was the plan. Because I was speculating since during the release of Into the Spider-Verse, and when Amy Pascal and I think said this in the interview that it was the Phil and I already forgot the name. The directors of Miller, they were wanting to use Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in their movie, and I think they wanted Tobey Maguire to voice Peter B. Parker, but Sony rejected it and said no, but we have plans. Or something like they're saving them for later. Yeah. So they could have said, no, we don't want that. We don't want that to be connected, or we don't want to confuse the audience. That's what they could have said. But they said, we're saving. No, that's not. Like, that's where I started to speculate since 2018, is that wasn't like, wait, so are they gonna do a live action Spider-Verse? and since then, and then there's an interview when Far From Home came out, and this has all been on social media right now, where everyone's like using that clips, and even Tom Holland reacted to it. What's it? Everyone's asking him when did this idea started, and even when Tom Holland said, got asked about, would you like to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield? And his expression, like, look,
oh yeah,
I could tell the difference between like marketing and real reactions. And I feel like what Marvel has done, because a lot of like stuff has been leaked and had been accidentally said and had been actually been
a lot of it.
Yeah, I think Marvel just sort of, we planned this a long time ago. That's just acting. They're actors, you know. All those interviews before, just go with it. I feel like that's that's the marketing, is those not fake. I think before it was real, but now they're doing that a lot because it trends.
They're just trying to give it away, basically.
Yeah, the whole thing kind of trends, so I feel like that's the thing they're doing, and I think that was a serious reaction. It wasn't a fake reaction, and even with the trailer reaction of the new one, like, where are they?
Where are they?
Finish that sentence, Tom. Finish that sentence. Like, you can't fake reactions sometimes, but but when you joke about it afterwards, then you're like, yeah, something's up. So I feel like they don't get really in trouble anymore. They just brush it off. So, we'll just carry on this whole thing where you have a feud with this actor, or the backing stuff with they did like. Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie hated Tom Holland. They carry on. They probably didn't get long during the Civil War, but then they made it into a thing where it's like, because people clicks on it. It gets the views, and that's again marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people like drama, and people like to see stuff like that. Someone accidentally leaked stuff, like. There's proof of that where Mark Ruffalo recorded Heart of Thor.
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, but
he actually
that was an accident. But then Marvel was praising him, saying, "You did a good. That was perfect." I was like, perfect for marketing wise. And now it's like this whole trend is like Tom Holland and everybody. It's like when you do something wrong by accidentally, and then your families literally won't let it go.
Yeah,
it's that kind of thing. If they'll always talk about, you did this like 5 years ago, and it's something that your family never forgets.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
You accidentally leaked something, or you accidentally spoiled something, and he's like, here we go, Levi leaked this thing again like 5 years ago. Like, it's that kind of thing with the whole thing, and it's interesting. But yeah, I believe. No way this whole multiverse thing was planned since then. Should we get to the Toby and Andrew theory?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, Andrew and Toby. Now, here, what, wait, I'll let you start first. I'll give you the honors.
No, it's all right, man.
You start. You can start first. Like, what is your prediction, and how are they going to come to the scene?
Okay. I'm predicting, my personal prediction, they're gonna come in sometime, at least the second half. I give it that.
How are they gonna come in? Like, that's the question. Right.
That bit I've not thought about too much.
You know, I was thinking about the bit where, and I think I'm gonna use the TV spots or the trailers, because I know in the scene they all captured the villains and they're all in their prison, but I think Tom Holland mentioned during one of the scenes, said we might need some more help. Now they use the clips on Ned and MJ and I do that a lot. I tried to edit trailers, and when you edit trailers, you start to notice stuff where it's called trick editing, where you use dialogue, but the audience think they're talking to about this thing. It's to trick the audience. So I feel like he's not really using that they don't need MJ and Ned for help because they've already been helping him since the beginning. I think that's where they're going to start getting the Maguire and Garfield into the universe because they captured the villains.
That makes a lot of sense.
And that's where they explain, okay, that's halfway of the film.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they've been in it halfway. That's where trick trailers, everything very plays in. So I think in that moment, Doctor Strange is going to try to do a spell. They could go towards Tobey Maguire's universe first, or like a bit like how the bit where Infinity War where Doctor Strange comes in the pause and Tony Stark, we need your help. The fate of the universe. Relies on it. I feel like there's something similar. Like a quick, there's loads of cool edits I've seen that on YouTube where Doctor Strange or like where it just cuts towards a different universe. And what do you think? Like, do you think like how Marvel universes or worlds have like numbers? Do you think because there's like this is like I don't know what MCU universe world's called. It's like 616. I can't. Is it 616 or?
That's what Mysterio called it in Far From Home.
I feel like Toby. Don't get me wrong. Like, because of the year, I would call it 2002.
Oh.
And then World 2002 because that's where they started.
Mm-hmm.
That's released the first, like not necessarily the day.
One, yeah.
Well, they could go like World 2002. Because that's the world of 2002 of Tobey Maguire's universe.
Yeah.
Not the date. Don't get confused with the date. And then Andrew's will be 2012.
Yeah.
That's where he established 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So it's establishing the years as the universe. I think that would be kind of... Then that way, people are going to watch the movies and say, oh, that's the world 3409. And then it's like... That takes away. You're retconning the whole.
Kind of, yeah.
That's the one thing I am fearful. I'm a bit afraid. Is I hope they don't retcon quite a lot about the like. Obviously, it's a big thing. They're coming back, but
there is that risk of retconning
something. That's one thing I'm scared of.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope, like, I'm glad they're coming back, but I don't something to like. Then that will ruin that entire franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they just keep it the same, but not the same, but same. The army of goblins of all the Spider-Man villains. Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
That'd be cool.
You know what? Going back to our first question about one of the mysterious villain of the six members. I did not say the other Green Goblin.
Oh, Harry Osborn's Green Goblin.
You got two. You got James Franco,
right.
And you got David Han. So and there's a theory of like where people say, "Oh my God, it's James Franco because he has no." I always knew that was Willem Dafoe. I saw the leaked costume, but
it's Willem Dafoe, guys.
It's not. Like there's loads of clothes. There's actually official things of it. Like you can see when he throws the pumpkin bomb in the TV spots.
Yeah, bro.
And he's doing that very Gollum face. like what's that? Is it that hamster, the Munchkins reacting Gover? When they're doing this, Gover the reacting. It's a very old, very 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 old. Social media. It's a very old YouTube video. If people recognize that, I'll give you free tickets on the way home tomorrow. I'm kidding. I can't afford.
We're all skint.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't. I actually thought David Han was gonna come back, but he again denies supplied it.
Yeah.
Again, with all the interviews, they know he's not in it, but he's interested, but. Nope. I actually thought Mary Jane and Emma Did I almost said Emma Watson?
Yeah, I think you did. Hermione Granger.
No Harry Potter cross. Oh, hey, it's a multiverse.
Yeah, so exactly.
Just fun. Like, have you ever seen those big posters, these fan-made posters of Spider-Man with every single like character with it? Like, you got King Kong, you got Darth Vader.
No, I haven't.
It's so funny. You got Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, because there's like these really fun posters. People just like rushing every single person.
Yeah, just slap them on the poster.
You got Darth Maul. Let's just say Darth Maul is like the final villain.
Yeah, why not?
You know, I hope Willem Dafoe does play, and this is a little off topic, we'll go back to it, but I really hope he does play the Joker in Matt Reeves' Batman. Like, after seeing and this is the thing, like, because Green Goblin and Joker are just so
similar
again. And I would really love to see, like, I'm so glad he's doing more comic book, because he did Aquaman.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he did, didn't he?
And I'm so glad, like, because look, you got early 2000 actors who did these, like, early Marvel movies. And once they did, they're like, some of them, like, I'll give Red Skull an example. Like, they did it was fun, but they don't want to do it again because they were trying to look for something different, or maybe a bit too old, or, you know, they don't feel like I did that back then, and they want to do something new in their career. One thing I respect about Willem Dafoe, it doesn't matter. Like, he has done a lot of amazing films over the years. You know, he played Jesus.
Yeah, The Last Temptation of Christ.
There's so much stuff he's done, and I gotta appreciate it for this guy to come back in. I don't know, like, he even wore the tight suit as well, like the green. Because one thing he always said, like, he loved playing Green Goblin, but he didn't like the costume so much. So I don't know if with you guys, I used to watch a lot of the behind the scenes, and I used to like love watching like the interviews, like how they made this, like how they done Doc Ock's arms. I love the bonus feature stuff with all that.
Yeah, it's really fun.
The making of the mask, like, because you kind of understand what the filmmakers was trying to intend. Like, why is Green Goblin's mask is like a screaming mask? I always thought he would look like kind of like a green version of Ghostface when I was a kid. I don't know why. I just thought, like, as a kid, because he's like a scream mask. I always thought Green Goblin had like a similar mask. It was like more like a demon Ghostface.
Yeah.
but in the actual behind the scene, they said the reason why he has like a sort of a terrifying mask is so it strike fears to his foes. Another thing, everybody hated the 2002 Green Goblin costume, but now it's all been kind of sort of changed and said everybody loves it.
Yeah.
So it got the prequel thing, because I remember a lot of people I know, I even stuff like on reviews or social media, people were like, I hate the 2002. It looked like a Power Ranger. It's so complete. I always loved it.
Yeah, same.
I loved that mask.
Even as a kid, I liked it.
I never knew, because we were kids, but I never knew it didn't look cheesy. Like, I thought Spider-Man looks cheesy. Like, because it's a comic book film, it works. Yeah. You know, and I think since, like, Marvel's been using a lot of these techie kind of costumes, people are sort of trashing the old ones and this person, this looks so cartoonish. And yeah, they don't have no souls.
Nah,
but
no, they don't.
Beside that, I remember seeing that mask though. It's so terrifying and they used it in other movies. Like, that's why it made it so iconic. Like even the second one, where Harry was bumping into, where he sees like the goblin layer. And, you know, I always said this, but I thought that if that scene was the post-credit scene, that would have been really like that. Yeah, that would have been if they did post-credit scenes during that time. I think that scene would be the post-credit.
Yeah,
but yeah, if they had like that mask has been a period all the trilogy, even with Spider-Man 3, like
even then.
But I got really upset with Spider-Man 3 because I really wanted Harry to wear the Goblin mask. Even though it doesn't have to be the same costume, I wanted to see that mask again. And what this is really nostalgia for me because it really gets to me. We're gonna see it tomorrow, and that's...
I know.
Like, I love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, but one villain I always loved is the Green Goblin. He's always been my number one villain. And that... It's just mind-blowing because it's emotional in so many levels because it's not a five... This movie has not been... I've not been waiting for, like... I didn't wait this movie till, like, 5 years ago, you know, or after Infinity War. I waited to see this movie all the way since 2007.
And
definitely. That's a big... That's why it's such a big deal, because this movie isn't just a movie for the new audience. It's a movie that everybody's been waiting for a long time, and it doesn't matter where you...
since that trilogy.
It doesn't matter where you started to like Spider-Man. You know, everybody loved Spider-Man back in the day, and they grew up watching the movies and the cartoons. I remember watching as a kid, like the animated series. I used to watch the Spectacular Spider-Man as well. I used to get so excited because I was looking forward for Spider-Man 4. And I'm just going to say this to make these guys more happy is it's just Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, I know.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, people like say, no, it's not. It is.
It is, man.
Because it's a continuation. Sorry, I'm speaking so much. It's a continuation of the previous Spider-Man movies. This is technically Amazing Spider-Man 3. This is technically a Spider-Man 4. And technically, it's a Spider-Man sequel to Homecoming. It's a sequel to All Over.
Yeah.
What makes me want to watch a Spider-Man 4 is what I want to see what happens after that.
Yeah.
And this is what this movie is doing. Even if it's a glimpse or a small thing, we're gonna see it. And
yeah.
Sorry, I get very excited about, like, you know,
that's cool, man.
Passionate about this, but it is what we've all been looking for since our childhoods, is this movie. And I think that's why this is gonna break numbers, because everybody...
Absolutely.
This doesn't speak for one Spider-Man, and there's been a massive debate of who is the best Spider-Man. It speaks to every Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's gonna be insane. But yeah, like, Toby, Andrew, I really hope they're in the movie.
Me too, man.
I feel like, at the end of the day, like, let's just say this, right? If they're not in the movie, it doesn't mean they're not gonna be in the future. Because Sony knows how much people want them to be in it.
Yeah.
We all know they're gonna be in the movie, but there's that other side of it. They could trick us and say they're not in the movie. Sony knows our demand.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna be surprised. They're gonna try.
They'll try something.
They could either make them appear in another Marvel, like, MCU film, like with the Multiverse of Madness, for example. So I wouldn't mind seeing Tobey Maguire in that movie as well.
Yeah, me too.
But I remember when that theory was going along, where it said they're gonna bring, you know, the Saving Toby and Andrew for a separate project, not into the cartoons or into the Spider-Verse. I thought they're gonna do a live-action Spider-Man verse.
Yeah.
And call it the Spider-Verse as a separate movie, so it's not a sequel to the... Not a sequel.
Yeah,
it's not like it's not part of the trilogy. It's a separate movie.
Separate thing, yeah.
So I remember Sony has got loads of plans and dates for future projects. You know, you got the Silver Saber movie. You got Black Cat. You got I believe they're going to do a Madam Web movie. You got the Craven spin-off. You got so much. There's loads. So much. They're building their own universe, but there's actually been a couple of slots, I think, next 2-3 years. That is an untitled movie, and I think this is going to be the answer.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be a little appearance. I will be upset if they're not in the movie.
Yeah, me too.
I'll rage online. I will, you know, F-bomb this on Twitter, or say, you know, why bring all these villains and not have the two Spider-Mans?
Well, I know I will pull a sickie off work. Don't worry, I'm not if you're listening.
But yeah, I will we will rage. No, we're not going to start like a.
Yeah.
We're not going to start a whole Joker thing, are we?
Oh no, definitely
just
not.
Just as Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Bully Maguire's, and just go around streets clicking our fingers, wearing Bully Maguire tops, and just going, like doing the Peter Parker dance. All right, sorry. One more prediction. All right, one more prediction.
Yes. One more.
If they're in the movie, I wanted to do the finger.
Oh yeah,
the classic Spider-Man saying, "You're not the Spider-Man. I'm the real Spider-Man."
I'm Spider-Man.
That is going to be the missed opportunity. If they are in it, they need to do the finger.
Yeah, they already missed one opportunity with Iron Man and Doctor Strange with a Sherlock reference.
Yes. Oh yeah, because I forgot they both play Sherlock, and I think I was going to say. I'll say one swear word, guys. Please, I'll say it, but they said no Sherlock.
Yeah, so I really wanted to say that just for the hilarity of it.
No, yeah, I just realized that, but yeah. Oh, and do you think the suits are gonna be because it's as a big somebody really a big Spider-Man fan, you get very like. Interested in what kind they're same, but they actually have different like looks.
Yeah,
like I know with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, even though people say, "Oh, it's the same suit from the whole trilogy," not technically not, because we can break. And this is with stuff with Toy Story or any like when they do a film or any movie, they always upgrade a little bit to the movie to sell toys or. You know, they don't actually use the same costume. They add a little bit of an upgrade. Obviously, the Homecoming ones are very obvious. Because you got the Iron Spider suit, you got the black and gold suit now, and you got the magic suit. I think it's like an integrated suit with his... And I'm interested how that's going to happen, but that's very obvious suit change. But with Maguire's, I noticed like they changed a bit of the logo in Spider-Man 2. The lens is a bit more, I think, smaller.
A little bit,
a bit more sharper and cleaner. Number 3, you got a bit more of the fabric. I get, because we made some Spider-Man fan films, you get a bit, you kind of research more towards the how the suit's been made. And with the Amazing Spider-Man 2, you got TASM 1 and TASM 2 suit with the big lenses. I do love the TASM 2 suit.
Yeah, me too.
But I think I gotta say my favorite suit is definitely Spider-Man 2 suit or 3. I think 3 and 2 does look the same, but I think just the color of the suit is a bit more paler.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Or the blue is a bit brighter, but there is a difference. So I'm curious if they're gonna go with the same exact suits or maybe a little bit of an upgrade. Have you seen that picture of the Tobey Maguire suit with the Far From Home style? It's got the black stripes, but it's the same.
Oh yeah, I think I have actually.
I think someone did one on create one on the Zentai suits. You can get them. I really hoped like they kept the same suit, but. Maybe if they keep Toby along, they could give him an upgrade suit, but they still make it similar.
Yeah.
But yeah. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, everyone.
We're so excited to watch this movie, and let me know what you guys think about it. Please don't comment any spoilers tomorrow.
Oh, please don't.
We'll do the same as well. I hope you enjoy the movie. It's been... I say, how many years since 2007?
So, yeah.
I would say it's been about maybe almost 15, 17 years or something like that. No. That's since 2002.
Maybe 13.
13 years. It's been a long time, basically. And we're gonna finally, hopefully get to see the movie, you know? But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Stay tuned for our podcast. Join our Discord, which finally opened that up yesterday. The the link is on our community page. We'll send another link in on the Facebook and Instagram as well. Stay tuned for our other projects. We've got quite a few films coming out December. You know, we're not gonna say we're not gonna tell what it is yet, but it's a bit of a surprise. And yeah, let us know what other podcast topics you want us to talk about. And yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And any last words, Levi?
No, just thank you, everybody. Have a safe journey.
And Spidey out. Web.